When we go to tune a clarinet, we want to make sure that we always have a great mouth setup and a great body posture and approach to the instrument. First thing we're going to do is take a deep breath in together. Make sure that we breathe from the lower end of the body all the way up to the collarbone, because that's where the top of our lungs exist. Make sure you don't raise your shoulders. Make sure you don't take any weird, like, unnecessary tension into the body as you breathe in. Here we go. Just like that. When you go to play, make sure you take that kind of breath. Second thing is we got to make sure our noisemaker is making the right noise. So for clarinet, it's actually not too bad. We just have to make sure that our barrel mouthpiece gets approximately to an F sharp. I just checked mine, and actually it's a little low for an F sharp, and I'm not sure what the deal is with that. It might be that it's my reed combination or just this particular instrument and barrel mouthpiece that I'm using today. So this is a tuner. A tuner right down the middle is in tune, and that's what we want to go for on every single note forever and ever, amen. To the left means it's flat, to the right means it's sharp. So remember that real quick. So center is with the goal, left is flat, right is sharp, okay? We'll go more over that when we get to the tuning the instrument. So here's the clarinet mouthpiece and ligature and all that. Make sure that yours is set up correctly, and that's a different video. Great approach with the breath. Teeth on top, great mouth setup. Here we go. I can force that note to get up to the F sharp by pinching, but it's not going to make a great sound on the instrument when I go to play. I can like really squeeze down and like manipulate the mouth, but that's not going to, like I said, not going to result in the best thing. So once you've done that and you've gotten your note close to an F sharp, then it's time to move on to the instrument. So put it together and you've never tuned your instrument, you're probably used to putting everything together, where the middle and upper joint, lower and upper joint are all the way together, and the barrel's all the way pushed in. I'm going to do the same thing, just to kind of show you what this is like. What note do we tune to? So for clarinet, great notes are G and C. They do different things. I'll explain why in a second. If the C you've not learned yet on your band life, just ignore that part for now and just listen as I go through it. But a G, open G, is the one we're going to do first. All right, so my instrument is very flat. It's pushed all the way in. Try pushing my right hand down. So, good news, I changed reeds from the synthetic to the wood, and I took it to my wife in the same household and asked her why this instrument's playing out of tune. And she said, well, the barrel wasn't all the way pushed in. It actually was like rocked out ever so slightly, and I thought I pushed it in, but I didn't. So we're going to try it again, and I'm going to make sure that I have a really firm embouchure. I think this mouthpiece barrel combination just stinks. I think I need to get a different mouthpiece, or maybe this barrel's out of whack. That does happen from time to time, especially with ones that come from Amazon or eBay that are kind of like $100 specials. Those mouthpiece barrel combinations sometimes can just be like totally flat right out of the box, and there's nothing you can do to make it better except get a different combination. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to do that a few more times to make sure I'm getting a consistent hit on the tuner. Okay, so generally I'm in tune, but my thing is pushed all the way in. So let's pretend that we were sharp. What happens if you're sharp? A lot of times that'll happen. What you do from there is you actually it means your instrument is too short and you need to make it longer. If it's sharp, it's short. Therefore, make it longer. If the pitch is low, it's too long, make it shorter. So the tuning mechanism on the G is generally going to be from the barrel. So we're just going to pretend for a second that I'm sharp and I want to make it flatter. And basically, we're just going to do what I accidentally did a few seconds ago. So I pulled out a whole bunch. That's like marching band style pulling out. Like when you're out on the field or whatever, sometimes you'll need to pull out a whole bunch to get it in tune. But generally, it won't fluctuate that much. Very flat F, almost an E. Or I should say G. I'm speaking in concert pitch. You know what I mean? So push it back in just a smidge. I still have like a hair of distance there. You can see. So we just made the instrument flatter. So if you want to make the instrument flatter because it's too short, it's sharp, make it longer at the barrel. I'm now going to push it in all the way, and I'm going to show you the C, which is the other note I mentioned. So C, we're talking about this C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the C key and the register key in the back. If you haven't learned this yet, just kind of watch and chill for a second. I'm generally flat. I'm going to check my clarinet. It's all the way pushed in this time. I promise. So, again, I think this combination of stuff is just kind of on the flat side. Or maybe it's really hot in my room. It's another thing to point out. If it's hot in your room, like right now, I bet you in here it's probably 70 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 72. If it's real hot, it's going to make your instrument play flat. Or hold up. I paused the video just to think about it for a second. It's going to depend on the type of instrument you have. So I'm not going to get into that, but temperature does affect your instrument. So just make sure you're not getting too head casey if you're in a very extreme room, like if it's very, very cold in your room, or if it's very, very hot in your room, kind of like mine is right now with all these lights on and stuff. So C. Let's pretend, though, it's the other direction. Let's pretend it's really sharp and it's too short. Therefore, I need to make it longer. You wouldn't adjust from the barrel. You'd adjust from the upper middle joint or upper lower joint connection. So you would actually carefully, with your hands in the correct spots so you don't bend any keys, you would just twist it just a smidge to give yourself some distance. It's kind of hard to see. But I gave myself a little distance. I'll show you the extreme of it real quick. Okay, that's super extreme. We usually don't need to go that far. I'm going to pull it in some. That's all the way in, right? And here's just a smidge out. So here's what the C sounds like now. Pull it out some. It did adjust the pitch. So if it's sharp, if your instrument's sharp, pull out. Well, if you're sharp on the C, pull out from the connection point between the upper and lower joint. Mine is not, though, a problem. Being able to play your clarinet with a firm embouchure and the correct setup with your mouth is really important. You don't want to be too broad with your mouth space, where it's like, see how low it is? It's like basically playing an F sharp on the clarinet. The more correct my mouth gets, the more specific I get with my chin and my airstream, the more in tune it gets. And that's where we want to be. We want to make a very good sound on all the registers of the instrument, and that takes having a great mouth setup that's consistent from note to note. You know how to use a tuner now. You know how to adjust the parts that matter on the clarinet. The barrel to upper joint distance for a G, the upper to lower joint distance for the C above it. Okay, those two action points are going to help you, and there's other things you can do to change your intonation on the clarinet, but those are kind of the two big ones at first. Always seek the help of a private teacher, when you're doing this kind of stuff. I'm a trumpet player by trade, as clarinet players probably watching this can tell. But that's kind of like the rundown so far. Good luck in your tuning endeavors, and look forward to hearing from you in the future. Bye-bye.